Hello everybody and welcome to Lights Up, the official podcast of the WNBL. I'm Grantley Bernard, this is Desi Globitz, and we are right in the middle of the season, Desi. We have gone through 10 rounds of 19, so that's about halfway. What do you make of it so far? Obviously, the top three teams, Bendigo, Dandenong, Adelaide, have probably got a little edge on everyone else. Are they the only three you can see winning it all, or is there a smoky somewhere just hanging back?
That's a planted question, surely. Certainly Bulleen would have to go down as the smoky, I think, Grantley. Plenty of talent in there and still finding their way this season with a lot of new players into the team, but certainly, as you say, Adelaide, Bendigo, Dandenong certainly looking the goods at this stage. Top three, and deservedly so, and just rolling along at the moment. There is
no stopping them. I mean, you know, Bendigo with one loss for the whole season. Dandenong has had three, but only against one team, Bendigo. So they would have. Are they then a little level above Adelaide even, do you think?
Yeah, I guess Adelaide haven't been able to beat either team as yet. I'm not sure if those series are complete between Adelaide and both Bendigo and Dandenong, but certainly Bendigo just deserve their favouritism at the moment, having beaten Dandenong, as you say, 3 times. And I think it's time for teams to start looking at the tape of the Canberra game and seeing what on earth Canberra did to beat them, because no one's been able to get near them in weeks.
The way that's looking, that might have just been an aberration on Bendigo's part, the way they've been playing. They've got a deep roster, a talented roster, experienced roster. You'd think they've got all the ingredients to actually win it.
Yeah, certainly. And recalling back to that time, they'd come off the bye. I think April Sykes was just coming into the lineup. Camino was still coming back off that injury, and they look untouchable at the moment.
So the bye could be the secret
to
getting Bendigo, which means if they were to win the major semi-final and they had a week off before the grand final,
might be a bad omen for them.
Could be their undoing. I guess we'll find out a little later in the season. Just an interesting, I guess, personnel move during the week was that the Logan Thunder released Lindsay Lauer, their import. She was averaging 7.7 points per game and 3.5 rebounds, and she was actually probably coming off her 2 best games of the season. No real reason given for the parting of the ways. Any ideas on this one, Desi?
Yeah, no, I haven't heard anything on the down low about this one. Certainly her numbers are reasonable, but I guess you've got to consider whether that's reasonable for an import player as opposed to reasonable for another player on your roster. It's a tough one. She had a great Siebel season, but I believe she was coming off the bench for Logan as well. I guess you've got to be fair to all your players, and if your local players can get that done, well, maybe it's the right call, although being outside the club, we'll never really know what went down there.
There is some talk that they are looking to bring someone else in as a replacement, so I guess we'll see what happens there. But may not be until after Christmas, I guess.
Yeah.
And then they may be, chasing the horse that's bolted the stable.
Potentially, and they've got a little bit of work to do if they're going to catch that top 4, but potentially that would, make the decision that's been made this week make a bit more sense to the rest of us.
Hopefully we do get some sense out of that one. As always, making sense are our viewers who send in their Twitter and Facebook questions with the chance to win the famous champion prize pack. The backpack, Desi, you know what else is in here, don't you?
I think there might be a cap.
There's the cap.
Lovely.
And the champion socks. And you do personally endorse the champion socks, Desi, is that right?
I quite like the champion socks. I might tweet myself some questions next week, see how I go.
Be interesting to see what the answers are. Our first question does come off the Twitter, and it comes from Helen Theoharakis. And she says, do you think the WNBL should expand their postseason awards to include most improved player and the best sixth player? Would you have won either of those awards in your day, Desi?
No, I doubt it, no. But I think it's not a bad idea. I think the Six-Man Award's a great one. I mean, you see the way Canberra use a player like Jess Bibby, who, on paper might be in your starting 5, but Carrie's tended to use her as a spark off the bench in recent years, and it works beautifully. It's the Jess Bibby Award.
The Jess Bibby. It would be good to come in. Of course, it probably would have to be named the 6th Woman Award.
Oh, why would we start now? But that would be good. I think we should run with that, yeah.
Okay. Our next question comes from Jay Richards off the Facebook, who wants to know, Desi, can you see the Fire in the finals? And if so, how far will they go?
In all honesty, I can't see the fire in the finals this year. They are on a nice little streak at the moment, 3 of the last 4 games, but without a win over anyone in the top 4, I think they'll probably be pushing it to make the top 4, which I guess answers the second part of your question. They won't get very far in the finals. It is always tough to go up and play in Townsville, fantastic atmosphere and great local support, so that's certainly an advantage to Townsville when teams have to travel a great distance and in the heat to come and play them, but traditionally haven't been fantastic on the reverse when coming in on the road, so I think they've still got a little bit of work to do, unfortunately.
And don't have a great finals record either, do they, off the top of the head when they've made it?
I'm going to go with no.
As a former Townsville player, that's beautifully answered, Desi.
We certainly didn't make the finals that year. In fact, I think we won the spoon.
Actually, we could sit here and go through all your clubs that you've played for, but the podcast only goes for a limited amount of time.
That's a little bit harsh.
There's the champion cap, and there's the champion socks to go in the champion backpack. Who's the winner?
I quite liked Helen's idea this week and the question about expanding the WNBL awards to incorporate the Jess Bibby Award. So I say Helen wins our champion pack this week.
There you have it. Helen Theoharakis wins the champion prize pack. Someone will be hopefully in contact with you better than I through the champion prize pack out of camera. That is it for our middle section of Lights Up this week. Don't forget you can get everything you need to know about the WNBL at WNBL.com.au. You can follow on the Facebook page and on Twitter at WNBL, at Desi Globe at 6, and our other Lights Up co-host Sharon Milner at Sharon Milner 4. Of course, the ABC does a great job live streaming the games every Friday night, and the game of the week is shown around the country on TV on Saturday afternoon. And of course, Desi, we have to acknowledge our sponsors. Well, we don't have to. We want to acknowledge our sponsors. They're very important. And we start off with IINet.
Champion.
ABC.
The Australian Sports Commission.
Sporting Pulse.
Spalding.
And ANFA. Desi, we've got through 2/3 of the week. Do you think we can make it all the way?
I think we're a chance.
Let's see how we go. Come back later in the week and see if we can get to the finish line on Lights Up.